All right, hello everyone, and welcome to today's Alertus Power Lunch. My name is Sarah Gillum, and I'm a trainer here at Alertus. And today's Alertus Power Lunch is called Managing the Message, Templates, Media, and Creating Endpoint Behavior. During this session, we will explore how to craft message templates, desktop profiles, and configure media to drive the desired endpoint behavior, ensuring your alerts are clear and concise and effective. So I will go ahead and share my screen so we can get started walking through the Alertus console together. Please note that this session is being recorded for training purposes, and also if you do have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the Q&A box or in the chat. And let me just update the chat settings to make sure that you are able to chat with everyone. Awesome, so I'll go ahead and share my screen. We can walk through this together. So I'm gonna log in to my Alertus console with my admin account. And the first place that we're going to take a look into today is the Message Templates tab. So under Configure System, you can access message templates from the Message Templates tab. And essentially, these message templates are pre-created and saved messages that you're able to very quickly pull into an alert for different scenarios that you need to communicate about. So you can see that I do have a number of different message templates already created and saved here for different types of scenarios. If you do want to just add a new message template from scratch, you can click Add Message Template here. It will bring you to a page where you're able to give it a name, paste in the template text that you'd like to use. You can click Add, and then it will add that message template onto your system. But if you don't want to have to build out all of that language from scratch, we do have a really helpful tool for you called the Message Template Builder. So if you click into this Message Template Builder, you will be able to generate customized message templates in bulk. So you will have all of the customization options that you can see on the left-hand side here. So for example, if you wanted to add your organization's name to the front of your messages, you can do that. You could decide if you want a long or short message. You can include other things like the date and time or a protective action for people to take, along with any of this additional text or information. And with those customizations, you will see the templates on the right being updated. So you can scroll through to see all of the different generated templates for various scenarios. You can also filter these by the category. So for example, if you're looking to build out more natural disaster templates, you can just select those. Maybe you need one for a flash flood warning or a flash flood watch, maybe a hurricane warning or hurricane watch. You can come through and just check any message templates that you'd like to save. And then when you're ready, you can hit continue and submit. That will go ahead and save all of those message templates on your system. So I think this is a really helpful tool because these messages have been created with best practices in mind for alerting during these various scenarios. So this definitely will give you a good starting point to help you figure out exactly what language you should be using. Awesome. So now that we've taken a look at this message templates tab, I do also want to take a quick look at the media tab in the Alertus console right above here. So this media tab is where you're able to upload either images or audio that you want to be able to use during your activations. So for example, if you don't want to just use the Alertus logo on your desktops, when you send desktop activations out, you have the option to upload your own logo. You can see that I have a couple uploaded here. You can just click to upload either a local file or a cloud file, and then just select whatever image that you'd like to include. You will also notice there is some default media that will be here for you already. Here's a lot of audio files that you're able to use with different beeps or chimes that you might want to include. And we also have some default clip art images that are available for you as well. So you can definitely browse through what is already here for you. And you do also have the option from this page to record custom audio. So I'm going to walk through that process to show you how that would work. I'm just going to record a custom audio message for a test alert for this webinar. So to record audio, I'll just click record audio, and then you'll click start recording when you're ready. This is a test. This is a test. Demo 1. Now I've hit stop recording. You can also replay it to hear the audio that you've recorded. This is a test. This is a test. Demo 1. And then I'm also going to give it a name. I'm just going to name it 214 test audio. So this can be really helpful for a number of use cases. For example, if you do want any custom like beeps or chimes, recording custom audio can be helpful. Also, the text-to-speech system with Alertis currently supports English, Spanish, French, and Portuguese. However, if you do ever need to have an alert in another language, you can definitely record that audio here and then be able to pull it in to any of your activations that you're sending out. But I'm just going to go ahead and click upload to save that on our system. So now we'll see it in the uploaded media section. All right, so now that we've taken a look at this media tab, I want to hop next into the desktop tab. So this desktop tab is really helpful for configuring a number of your desktop settings. I'm going to scroll down to this desktop profiles section. These desktop profiles are essentially the visual and audio settings for your desktops. So you can see I have multiple desktop profiles created since they all correspond with different desktop settings. For example, this one is green for all clear alerts. I also have a few that are pop-ups. This is a pink pop-up. So you can come in here to browse that different formatting. And we can also create a new desktop profile together. So to do that, you'll just click Add Desktop Profile to build out some new formatting. So I'm just going to pull in a test one. I'm going to come to this Variables tab. Well, first I'm going to pick my display mode. So there are 3 different display modes you can pick from, either the pop-up, the ticker, or the classic, which is the standard full screen takeover. You're able to preview them here. I'm just going to pick the classic for today, and I'm going to give it a name. Again, 214. I'll name it Media Test Desktop Profile. And then once you've picked your display mode, it will unlock the corresponding display mode variables. So now I can click this Variables tab in order to update all of these settings. Since this is a test, maybe I want it to be green. I'll change that blinking color and the border color to be green. You can also decide if you want the text to blink or if you want it to just stay put. Maybe I'll turn off the blinking. You can also change the font if you'd like. You can change any of the background colors. Maybe I'll just stick with my green theme and pick a light green for the background. You can also add images here on the left and right-hand side. Maybe I'll leave the Alertis logo on the right, but when you click Select Image, this is where you'll see all of those images from the Media tab, so you're able to scroll through and pick whatever one that you'd like to use. You can also go ahead and just upload a new image from this page as well. I'm just going to pick, for our example today, maybe this green check mark to pull in to the left-hand side. I'm also going to scroll down. Let's see, right now it says alert. I'm just going to change it to say test. You can edit that text to say whatever you'd like. This message text I'm going to leave, since where it says enter your custom message here, this is just going to be replaced by whatever text that we have in our alert that we're going to send out. So I'll show you that when we use this to send something out in the system. You do also have the option if you want to hide the acknowledge button. With that button showing, someone would be able to press acknowledge to close the desktop alert from their own device, but you can hide that button if you don't want someone to be able to acknowledge it and close it. So that's another option as well. I think this looks good. I'm also going to come back to the General tab to expand these audio settings. This is where you can set the audio for your desktops. Right now it's on no audio, but you could pick text to speech if you wanted the desktops to read your alert message out loud. You can have that repeat however many times you'd like with whatever delay in seconds between repetitions. You do also have the option, if this toggle is turned on, to override the system volume. So that would mean that even a muted desktop would still read your alert message out loud. And you do also have the option to pull in an audio file for your desktops. If you just click no audio, it will let you pull in whatever audio file you would like to use. You can also come to uploaded only to see just audio that you've uploaded. So here's where we can see that test audio that I recorded today. So I'm just going to pull that in to this desktop profile to show you how that will work. You can also decide how many times you want the audio file to repeat with whatever delay between repetitions for that as well. And you have the same option to override the system volume with this audio file. So I think this looks good. I'm going to go ahead and click add. When you click add, it will prompt you to go ahead and create a new alert service for this desktop profile. I'm going to do that since those alert services are essentially your delivery methods. They're what you're able to pull into an activation to send something with this formatting. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to name it something similar, maybe to 14 media test desktop alert service, or I'll just leave it with desktop. So once I click submit, now if we do go to this alert services tab, we are able to see this 214 media test desktop alert service that we just created. So those are a lot of your customization options for your desktops, but I did also want to look into some more customization options for any of your text-to-speech devices. So a lot of those text-to-speech settings will live in this text-to-speach tab. So we'll take a quick look in here. Again, this is where you would go to manage your IP text-to-speech devices like the IP text-to-speech speaker that I have behind me. So this first section here is your text-to-speech profiles. This is where you can manage a lot of your device behaviors. For example, if I click into this default text-to-speech profile here, we can look at some of these settings. For example, this update channel controls if you're asking your devices to get updates for new software versions. Right now I have that disabled, but you can have it get automatic updates for like production updates as well as updates that are in development based on what you pick here. And you can also set the volume for any of your text-to-speech devices that are using this profile. So that can be helpful if you notice something is too loud or too quiet. You can change the volume for those devices from here without having to go and manually turn the volume on each device. And there are also some other settings that you can either enable or disable. For example, here's an option to enable PTP or Precision Time Protocol. This can be helpful just to keep all of devices on the same time so they're more synchronized. And you can also set the time zone for text-to-speech devices. So there's a lot of settings here that you can definitely update. But in addition to those text-to-speech profiles, there is also a section here for text-to-speech pronunciations. So this can be helpful if you do notice that your text-to-speech alerts are pronouncing a word incorrectly. Maybe your organization's name or something else that you use frequently is being pronounced wrong. If that's the case, then you can update the text-to-speech pronunciations in this section to make sure that it is pronounced correctly. So for example, I created a pronunciation for my last name. My last name, it looks like Gilliam, but it's actually pronounced Gillum. So I noticed that this was saying my name wrong. So what I did was I just came in and assigned the language. I also typed out the word that I'm looking for. And then I was able to use these phonemes down here to build out the sounds in the word to have it be pronounced correctly. So I just put in these phonemes here, each sound separated with a space. So now I am able to preview the correct pronunciation that I've inserted here. So now my name's pronounced correctly whenever a text or message I'm sending has this word in it, it will use the pronunciation I've created that's correct instead of the default one that was not correct. So this can definitely be helpful as well if you're sending out a lot of text-to-speech alerts. And then the next section on this page is your text-to-speech devices. So this is somewhere that you can go to update your device settings. If you do click into this edit icon, you're able to edit the settings here. This device is the text-to-speech speaker I have on my training wall back here. So this is a good place to go if you do ever want to update the text-to-speech profile your device is assigned to. You can come in and update the profile here. You can also add that device to groups manually from this page if you'd like. And then back on this main text-to-speech page, the last section here is for your relay profiles. These relay profiles are helpful for managing relay behaviors. So this can be helpful if you do have any peripheral devices attached to your text-to-speech speakers. You can essentially say how long you want them to be active. For example, with a custom activation, you can set a custom duration for that relay to be active, like before and after an alert is sent out. So those are a lot of your text-to-speech device settings. I did also want to look at the settings that are available to you when you are creating another alert service, this time for your text-to-speech speakers. So I'm going to come back to this alert services tab, and then I'm going to go ahead and add an alert service for my text-to-speech speakers. So I'm going to click this drop down here to pull in the correct service type. That is this IP text-to-speech here. I'm going to give it a name. I'll stick with my theme. I think I called it 214 Media Test. And then this time I'm just going to call it text-to-speech. You could give it a description if you'd like. And then here's where you can specify the service settings for your speakers. So you have the options to set the audio here. So this pre-wave and post-wave are optional audio files that you can add either before or after the alert audio. So I'll show you what that looks like. If you click no audio, it will open up this option for you to select audio. You can pull from any of those audio files that you have on your system, including ones that you've recorded yourself. And you can also preview them if you'd like.
Evacuation order is now.
I'm gonna find, let's see, maybe I just want to play a long beep or chime before. I'm gonna pick this chime pre-wave to really get people's attention. So it'll play that chime, then it'll go to the alert audio. You could pick text-to-speech if you just want that device to read your message out loud, or you can pick an audio file as well. Just for the test today, I'm just going to pull in that test audio that I recorded again so that we can hear that. And then we can also tell the system how many times it wants this alert audio to be played. I'll have it go twice before it comes to the post-wave file, which I'm also just going to pull in, let's see, maybe another chime after. And then we can also set the audio play count. This would be the total number of times it does the pre-wave, the alert audio with however many repetitions, and then the post-wave. So maybe I want it to do all of those things 3 times. And then there's also some additional settings here. For example, if you're using text-to-speech, you can edit the speech rate for those text-to-speech speakers if you want it to be slower or faster. And then you can also set some peripheral settings. For example, if you have any LEDs connected to your text-to-speech speakers, you can set those settings here. And this is also where you have the option to pull in any relay profiles that you might have created. but I think this looks good. I'm going to leave the settings like this. Go ahead and click add. So now I've added this alert service to my system. So now I do want to put all of this together to actually send an alert to show you how we've customized all of this endpoint behavior. So you could build out a preset alert with these alert services from this preset alerts tab. These are alerts that you've built out ahead of time that you're gonna be ready and able to send really quickly with just a couple of clicks from this preset activation page. You can also build out a custom activation if you just want to build out something new from scratch right before you send it. So that's what I'm going to do for today. I'm going to pull in a message template by clicking this drop down here. This will show you all of those message templates that you might have created. I'm just going to pull in a system test message template. You'll notice I do have the variable in this message for the current date and time. So this variable will be updated automatically when the alert is sent out. And you do have the option if you want to add other variables, you can click the variables tab to include things like the name of the sender, the duration, the groups being targeted. So there's a lot of variable options here. You can also set the duration for how long the alert would be active in the system and also the priority. Since this is just a test, I'm going to pick a lower priority so that if we did have a real emergency happen, a higher priority alert would be able to override the system test. And then this section here for your delivery methods is where you can pull in those alert services that you have created. So I'm going to click the drop down here to pull in our desktop alert service and our text-to-speech alert service with all of those settings that we built out together that you can preview by clicking the plus sign here. I will also show you if you do have any alert beacons, you are also able to pull in an alert beacon alert service and then click the plus sign to fully edit these settings. So for example, maybe we want the first 10 seconds to be max volume if you'd like. I'm going to leave it on silent just because I'm sitting right in front of my alert beacons and I don't want them to be too loud in my ears. But you can set whatever volume you'd like, and then you can also set whatever visual alert. Maybe we'll start with this LED medley. Maybe after 10 seconds there, we want it to go into these long-term settings. Again, I'm just going to leave it at silent for this recording, but you can set whatever volume you want, and you can also change the visual alert type. Maybe I'll change it to this row blink. And then if you do have any peripheral settings attached to your alert beacons, like I have an LED marquee that you can see behind me, you can just check it here to turn it on. So I'm going to also activate my LED marquee with our text or our test alert message. And then I'm also going to pick this option to use an alternate LED color. So this will let the alert beacons blink green instead of red. So those look good for my alert beacon settings. And then the final step is choosing my recipients. So this is where I choose which devices I want to send this to. I could check all to send it to all of these device types. I could also pick specific groups. For example, I could send it to just my desktop's text-to-speech speakers and alert beacons in, say, building 1. That's what I'm going to do for today. But you do also have the option to pick specific units or specific devices if you do want to target just one specific computer, for example. But I'm going to pick my building 1 group. Before you send something out, you do also have the option to click this preview button. So this will show you all of the formatting for what your desktop is going to look like, as well as what your text-to-speech speakers will sound like. But I'm going to go ahead and click continue. Here you can review how many devices in total you're targeting, as well as how many of those are actually online. And now I'm ready to send this alert out. So we can take a look at all of that endpoint behavior that we set up. You might notice my alert beacons behind me are blinking green. They're silent since I set them to be silent, but the LED marquee is showing our message.
This is a test.
I can hear myself saying this is a test message. And then this will repeat however many times I've set. I think I had it set to go 3 times.
This is a test.
Here my desktop is saying this as well. I'm going to go ahead and just click acknowledge to close the desktop alert from my own device. I could let this continue to go behind me, but I'm just going to go ahead and cancel it early so that everything will stop going off behind me. So I know that we did look at a lot of device settings for your text-to-speech speakers, your alert beacons, and your desktops. We looked at uploading media and creating new message templates. But we do still have about 4 minutes left, so I did want to open up the floor for any questions that you might have. Please feel free to type them out in the chat or leave them in the Q&A box, and I will definitely stick around to see if we do have any questions. I am also going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen. And I will go ahead and link a couple of customer portal articles that we have about some of the topics that we looked at today. I'm going to put in some links into the chat for a few articles that might be helpful. For example, here is an article for the media tab in the Alertus console. If you do want any more information about uploading new media to your system, you can get it from this link. We do also have an article all about the Alertus message template builder that I will also include here. So if you do want any more documentation about building out new message templates, you can find it at this link here. But as I mentioned, I'll stick around for any questions, but thank you for joining this Power Lunch today. Hopefully we will see you at the next one as well. Next week we have a Power Lunch all about updating your Alertus server, since we do have the winter 2025 software release coming out next week. So if you want more information about getting your server updated to the newest version, hopefully we'll see you at next week's Power Lunch. But take care. I hope you have a great rest of your Friday.